Oh, I gotta climb up this ladder, so wish me luck. Find myself up on the roof without Phil. He is inside tending to an elbow that he recently had surgery on, and I came up to fix the air conditioner. That's right, the AC went out, of course, at the worst time, right as Phil had his surgery on his elbow, so he can't climb up because he can't use his right arm at all. But luckily, it's something really simple. I'm going to replace this squirrel cage or whatever they call it. It looks more like a hamster wheel to me. So we actually did come up here the day before Phil's surgery and we checked it out to make sure this is what the problem was. So I pre-staged a little bit because we didn't put all the screws back in. All right, so I have all the lids off, but I'm gonna bring you over so you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. Now, when this plastic piece, the hamster wheel, squirrel cage, whatever you want to call it, breaks, and when it spins with the AC on, what happens is the centrifugal force will pull the outsides out and it will make a loud clanging noise when you turn on the air conditioner, and that's one clue that this is one of the problems. So this is just a cheap plastic, so they do break down, and the only thing you have to remember is to make sure the direction of this wheel goes in the same direction as the one you're pulling out, so the air moves in the same direction. But it's just one screw, you can see right in the center. I'm just going to take it out and replace it. All right, that's it, it's in. Now I just got to put it back together. That's it, that's all I had to do, and now we are gonna go crank up the AC because we are in Texas and it's gonna be over 90 today. We're back inside and I got a little dirty today, so I did my good deed.
Yeah, she had to pick up the slack for me today. I really felt bad because I really wanted to get it done and I didn't want her to have to do it. Not that she couldn't do it, it's supposed to be my job.
It's a man thing. It's a man thing.
She does all the videoing, I do all the maintenance, and that's our agreement / partnership. We're going to turn it on here. I know it's fine.
And there we go, it's on.
So what you didn't get to hear was the big loud thud that came on when we turned it on the other day. We just forgot to record that part, but as soon as we turned it on and I heard the thud, the big clanking sound, I knew exactly what it was just from reading different forums and other YouTubers talking about the loud noise in their AC unit. So yeah. It was really just a matter of finding who had it here in town to get it. So we did find it locally. Well, it was probably about 30 minutes away.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
And unfortunately, Stacy had to go pick it up the day that I had my surgery. So again, I failed in that regards because I was supposed to do that.
It's fine. I can do anything. I'm a Navy wife. I am totally capable.
She can. It's just that, you know, that I just feel like I should be doing all of this and all the maintenance, and I just can't right now. So you're going to see a lot more of Stacy doing maintenance, I can tell you that.
So this just goes to show for all those ladies out there who are nervous about going solo, there are a ton of solo women out there and they do all this stuff on their own. So it can be done. Don't be afraid, and don't be surprised if you see my hands dirty in the upcoming weeks because yeah. Phil has more procedures on the way. Our original plan had me doing all the maintenance all by myself.
Dang it, now I've got to help. I'm still limited with my arm, my elbow, so I'm going to do what I can, but she's going to do most of it.
Yeah, and we also had one of Phil's surgeries got pushed back, so we thought by now he was going to be totally out, but we have another week or so before that's going to happen. So I got to get as much done as I can with his help before then. Yeah,
so the shoulder's already torn, so let's just rip the rest of it off. Why don't we?
Like a Band-Aid.
Yeah. The good things about having a pressure regulator is you can add a Y-gate. The Y-gate allows me to have my city water hooked up full time and then have an extra spigot to attach a hose to wash the rig. Now, this pressure regulator that we have now is far better than the one we started out with. It wasn't brass and it wasn't as durable as this one. This one's been really good and it's adjustable.
All right, that job's finished.
Yeah, we're done. And luckily we started when we did. The clouds were a good cover until they weren't.
Everyone should get on their roof, one, to clean it and protect it, two, to look at some of the decor, or, you know, make sure there's no holes and scrapes, and you're checking for maintenance areas that might possibly turn into leaks down the road.
Right, and while we were up there, Stacy found a few spots where the decor was over some screws, and just over time the screws have busted through the decor. So we've identified a few spots that we need to reapply some decor. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why you get up there. And while we were up there, some folks were walking by and they were like, "You're in a place we'll never be." Some folks never get up there,
That's
so
right.
they have no idea. But if you call somebody to come and get on your roof and clean it, and or at least inspect it, you know, make sure they're a reputable place. Make sure they're licensed and insured and all that stuff in case they fall. But somebody's got to get up there and check it, and that'll save you a ton of headaches down the road later.
That's right.
And that's how you end a roof cleaning day.
That was pretty awesome.
I get questions all the time about how Ruby looks all shiny all the time. Truth be told, she doesn't. She hasn't had a bath in probably 3 months, maybe longer. She's definitely dirty, and yesterday we got up on the roof and washed everything off the roof and down the sides, and then she really looked bad. I'm using a combination of white vinegar and Johnson's baby shampoos, which Tiffin recommends, and I'm using a lamb's wool sponge so I don't get the swirl marks on the rig. Now that I'm done washing, I go back over it with the wash and wax all, and this gets rid of all the water spots and it waxes it, and it's good for the gel coated paint and the windows. This stuff is really good. I put it on with one rag and then I just kind of buff it with a drier one, and it's perfect. The other good thing about the wash wax all is you can use this to maintain your rig after you've cleaned it. It doesn't do any good if you've got a lot of mud and dirt accumulated on there, because then it'll just scratch it. So I always wash it first and then I maintain it in between washes with the wash wax all.
I just finished my walk and I thought you'd be interested in seeing what Phil's doing today. Yesterday he started cleaning the rig and he didn't quite get it done. The sun popped out and it was scorching on this side of the RV, so today he's finishing the driver's side.
The good thing with the wash wax all is it gets all the water spots off. I do use vinegar in my soap bucket when I'm washing it, and it helps some, but I still have water spots and it just drives me crazy when I see them. So this is a good alternative if you can't get to it right away. The other thing is this space-saving ladder that we bought. I did have one of the little giants that would break down into an A-frame style ladder, and I really do miss that at times, but this ladder is pretty cool because it's telescopic, and you just hit the buttons and it comes right back down. And you can adjust it to, I think this goes all the way up to 13 feet. I had to get a little creative and put some towels on the ends when I'm leaning it on Ruby. I don't scratch her delicate paint. But this thing has worked out great. It's space saving. I put it in the basement storage and it hardly takes up any room.
Today's task is maintenance on the hot water heater. The first thing we do is turn it off, and I did that already on the inside this morning when we first got up, and now I'm going to turn off the water. All right, easy part's over. I'm going to prove to you that doing the maintenance on the hot water heater is a simple thing to do. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually check your hot water heater to see if you need to change out the anode. Now the anode, let me show you what it looks like. This is the anode that we're going to be changing today. It's a steel rod, and it attracts all the minerals in the hot water heater to keep it from corroding and damaging the hot water heater. You're going to check your hot water heater and see which manufacturer you have. The Suburban hot water heater is made of steel and requires a anode rod. The Atwood manufacturer is a aluminum water heater, and it actually just has a plastic plug. So if you're not sure which one you have, you can check the label on the side, and it also says the manufacturer. So that way you'll know if you actually even need to do this. If you have an Atwood, this is the plug that's going to be plastic. So it's not going to be a metal or steel rod, it'll be plastic. And you can see that if you look at your hot water heater. Next up, I'm going to turn off the power to the water heater. And that's just a quick switch, easy done. Next up, I need to relieve the pressure of the hot water heater before I try to take out the anode rod. Be careful when you're doing this. The water in there may still be hot, even though we turned the hot water heater off this morning. You should probably wear gloves, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. The water's not hot, so I'm good to go. Now we're going to take out the anode rod. And you can already see all the crud that's going to start pouring out. Oh. Check it out. This is the after. We did this, what, a year ago? And this is what it should look like. Now, if you're not using your hot water heater full time, you may not have to change it out as often, but you should definitely check it. This anode rod actually has a little bit of life left in it. You can see it actually has been doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If it looked just like this, I would be worried that it wasn't doing its job and there was a problem. But since we already are showing you guys the maintenance and we already have a new one, we're gonna go ahead and ditch this one and switch it out. You can see the calcium pouring out of the hot water heater. This is the stuff that anode rod is protecting the hot water heater from. The water heater has been completely drained, so now I'm gonna take this cool little contraption that we acquired after our last time we flushed it out to actually go in and put some pressure in there and flush out any remaining residue of the calcium. So this should be fun. Hopefully I don't take a shower. Let's test it first. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, I think we're good. Next up is the Teflon tape. So we're gonna put this on to get a good seal whenever we put the rod back into the hot water heater. Just making sure there's not any debris that would keep it from screwing in tight. So that's all clear. Now I just need to put the new rod in. All right, hand tightening. Now we're gonna really tighten it up. All right, now it's in and we are going to fill her up. Now the beauty of having that Y-gate we talked about yesterday is I was able to turn off the water to the rig and still have the hose on. That way we could clean it out. I forgot to mention, make sure you turn off your pressure relief valve before you turn on the water. If you don't, then you're just gonna have water pouring out of this area right here. So we had already closed this, so I'm not worried about that. The next thing I'm gonna do is turn the hot water heater back on. This little button here. Of course, one of the last things you're gonna do is you're gonna watch and make sure this is tight enough so it's not leaking out. So the hot water heater is gonna start filling back up. I'm gonna watch this and make sure that it's in snug. And then once I know everything's good with the water heater, I can turn it back on the inside on the panel. Of course, all that hard work Phil did cleaning the rig, now I have water spots all over it and he has to do it all over again. Whoops! Today's RV maintenance is probably the easiest one that I'm gonna be doing by myself. So this is just the vents. So all I'm going to do is pop out this little vent here and I'm going to take out the filter so we can clean the filters. This job is something we normally do, or I should say Phil normally does, about once a month. So I'm just popping these little tabs off and you can see how dirty and dusty the filter is. So it definitely can impact the quality of your air and the quality of how well your air conditioner is working. That gets too bad. And then make sure there's no dirt or grime, cobwebs or anything on your vents. Give them a little wipe down. I am lucky because Phil bought a second set while we were at the Tiffin Service Center, so I can go right ahead and put my clean one on the vent. And then when we get all finished, I will show you how to clean these filters. So let me pop it right back into place without breaking it, because then I would get in big fat trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple. Pop it right back into place. And then we're going to snap it right back in. And because Phil's so anal, I'm going to make sure all the lines line up and go in the same direction. So you can see that this is pretty gnarly. So I'm actually just going to wash it with dish soap and water in the kitchen sink and then put them in the sun to dry. Next up, I'm going to check out the washer and dryer. So it's really important to check your manufacturer's guidelines, your manual, and find out what they want you to routinely check on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look behind the washer and dryer, make sure the cords or I should say the hoses aren't coming loose, like the hoses for the water, because that would kind of suck if that was, you know, working its way out of the tube. Make sure there's no critters back there, just nothing's out of the ordinary behind the washer and dryer. So we have a little hole here in our closet so we can take a peek. So let's do that. Let me move off Phil's ties that he has yet to wear since we hit the road, but don't worry, they're still here, just in case. All right, so let's take a peek. It is a little dusty back here, but not too bad. The hoses still look really good. They're still soft and flexible. There's no cracks in the hose. Everything looks pretty good. Next up is the dryer. So I want to go in here and I want to check the vent. I want to check down in there for lint. You can see on this vent where the lint is actually starting to kind of stick. That can happen because of the fabric softener can actually attach to the vent itself. So I'm going to wash this in the sink with soap and water to help get the fabric softener off of that, and that will help. And now I'm going to check inside the vent for lint. Ooh, and there's a lot of lint in here. Actually, it's a little frightening how much lint is in here. Now, this is on our spreadsheet for checks every 6 months according to our manufacturer. So I am going to get the vacuum cleaner to see how much of that lint I can actually get out that way. Now that's a lot better. All that's left on there is a tiny bit of residue in it. It was a little frightening how much lint was actually in there. So last thing I want is a fire and my dryer. So next up, I'm just going to check all the rubber gaskets here that seal it up and make sure there's no mold, no mildew, no dirt. Make sure it's all clean. Next up is the washing machine. So the main thing with the washer is you want to make sure that water isn't stagnant in your washer, causing smells and dirt and residue behind. And that can happen inside the gaskets. Oh my gosh, this is pretty disgusting. So you would never know that we've ever cleaned this. Oh, and you know what? There's a hole in this. There's a hole in this rubber seal. I don't know where that water is going or if it's getting out. There's several layers here, so I don't know if it's getting out, but we might need to replace this whole seal part. It's pretty disgusting. This needs some serious soap and water and bleach. So I have my rag and I did not put bleach on it. I know I just said bleach, but I meant vinegar. So it has regular dish soap and vinegar on it because vinegar will kill germs. Now it mainly is just right here in the bottom where water kind of stays stagnant and it doesn't all drain out. After finding that hole in the washer, it makes me a little nervous that water might have been leaking out somewhere. So I'm actually going to look underneath the washer and make sure there's no signs of any water that's leaked, or make sure it's not wet now, especially since we just finished washing a load of clothes. So if water was leaking, it would be wet right now. Now another thing that's down here that we always check for is our hot water heater, or water heater for people like Phil, to make sure that the plug-in is actually in and nice and secure. The first time we opened this up, we weren't even looking for that, and the plug was halfway out. So make sure you're checking these things routinely, because you know bouncing up and down the road can loosen them out a little bit. So let's take a peek here. The plug is nice and snug for the hot water heater, and there is no signs of water. I'm going to look up and make sure there's nothing on the wood. It is dry. It looks really good. No evidence of water, which is a good thing because there's a ton of wires back here going to the hot water heater. So that might have been really bad. But everything looks good and I'm going to close it back up. Last but not least for the dryer, make sure if your dryer is vented, you come out and make sure that there's no lint hanging or debris or animals that have clogged your lint out the back of the rig. So I'm going to check that now. If something bites me, Phil's in big trouble. I finished all my chores today, so we thought we would reward Gizmo and take him for a nice long walk.
Yeah, there's a spot over here that he can run off the leash. So it's away from the park. It's mowed, it's not used, and it's adjacent to the park and the golf course. So it's win-win for all of us.
And of course, Gizmo loves it, and he's a little tuckered when we get back.
Yeah.
If you are looking for a spreadsheet for your RV maintenance, you can steal ours and adjust it for whatever your needs are.
Yeah, I went through my manufacturer's book and I pulled out all of the things that they talked about maintenance-wise, the intervals, what to do, how to do, things like that. And I put it into a nice Excel spreadsheet. So it's user-friendly for me. You guys can use it as is. You can tweak it, you can add to it, delete it, however you need to, but I think the bones of it are there.
Yeah, and when he talks about manual, he said manual, but he meant manuals. He went through every manual for everything we have on the rig, the ACs, the washer and dryer, everything, and it's all in there. So of course your rig may not have some of our components, but at least the sheets and the pages are all set up, so you could just adjust according to your manufacturer.
Yeah, I think it's user-friendly. I made it sailor-proof, so most of my Navy friends will understand that.
Yeah, so the link's down below. If you guys need it, just head over to the website and download it for yourself.
There you go.
And in the meantime, we'll let Giz off leash.
Go.
Today's project include the rubber seals. I'm going to be working on those today to protect them and make sure they last a very long time. The product I'm going to be using is the line of 3-in-1 RV products, and we've actually been using this line since we purchased Ruby, and we love it. They're inexpensive, you can find them anywhere, and they do a great job. I'll be starting with the RV Care Rubber Seal Conditioner, and we really like this product because it is silicone based, which makes it water resistant. It blocks the UV rays, and it helps prevent cracking, flaking, and drying of our seals, and that means less chance of leaks later on down the road. You'll notice I'm putting the rubber seal conditioner on the front and the back of the seal. I want to make sure it stays really soft and lubed and it doesn't crack later. It's really simple. You just spray it on and you rub it in. When you're doing your rubber seals, don't forget to get them all. We have one tucked underneath our slides that if Phil hadn't pointed out to me, I would have missed. And of course, he's pointing things out to me. So let's get this one.
I do have one good on. Still point.
This will go much faster for me if I stop washing my hands between every time I do one. Let's see if I can turn. Sweet! Next up is the 3-in-1 RV Care Slide Out Silicone Lube. This is another great product that we've been using since the beginning. And the benefits of this is it actually helps your slide outs to last longer. It prevents rust and corrosion. It's silicone based, so again, it's water resistant. And you can use this on almost any type of RV slide out mechanism, which is really great, so everyone can pick this up. Now the benefit also is you can use it on vinyl, metal, plastic, and, Phil, back me up?
Rubber.
And rubber. So this product works great with all of those surfaces. Now, as you can see, I now have on my safety goggles. Phil yelled at me whenever I did the slide outs because we almost had a splashback. So make sure you're protecting yourself when you're using any products that could hurt the eyes. So to use this, it's really simple. You can even follow the tracks on your slide out to know exactly where to spray. And don't forget to get into the plastic parts that your slide outs actually rub on. One of the benefits of the 3-in-1 products is it actually gives you 2 nozzles. So when I sprayed the plastic, it gave me this little straw and it gets right into the groove where you want it to be. You can close it up and now it's a spray. All right, spray it on, and now I'm gonna wipe it around a little bit. Now, we usually do this once a month, but you can check your own manufacturer and see what they suggest for how often you do maintenance on your slides. You can see we have 2 different types of slide mechanisms. The front slides have the diving boards, and these are Swintex. So this is a plastic and a metal piece for our guides to actually move the slide in and out. So these also get taken care of by 3-in-1's silicone lube. So don't forget to hit all of your glides. We have 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. So I'll be getting all 4 on both slides, as well as all of the diving boards on both of the front slides. I'm also going to use the slide out silicone lube on the hinges on our stairs. So again, it's waterproof, it's rust proof, it works on metal, which is what our stairs are, and because it's a hinge sliding in and out, we want it to slide smoothly, not get caught up with the dirt and grime. So we usually spray this in at the same time when we do our slide outs. And this is easy, I just spray it right on the hinges. We all know as we travel down the road, we're kicking up all kind of dirt and debris that lands on the RV. So to keep your locks from getting corroded and making it stick and difficult to unlock, the 3-in-1 Lock Dry Lube will clean all that up and make it open with ease. This is another one of our maintenance items that we do all at once with the slides. It's really super simple. You use the little straw here that they provide, push it into the lock. Now I'm pressing hard so the lock opens a little bit to get the straw in and give it a little squirt. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to get the key and play with it just to get it in there really good, but that's it. And that's going to keep your locks from sticking. My last thing I have to do today is do all the window tracks. And these tracks really need it. We're a little behind on this maintenance item, and the windows are actually starting to get a little sluggish and a little harder to open. So I am going to use the 3-in-1 RV Care window track and dry lube. Now again, we've been using this for about 2 years now, and we really like this product. This product dries really quick, so dirt and debris is not going to stick to it after you put it in your window tracks. It also prevents corrosion and rusting, and it reduces friction and wear, which is going to actually have your tracks last longer. So this is another important maintenance item. Oh look, that did it. Last window. Now this one has been sticking, as you can see. So we've been a little negligent in taking care of this one. So let's take care of it now. Oh, that's much better. That's it for maintenance today. I'm all done.
Something I can contribute with during the maintenance, our monthly maintenance, is running the generator. And all I have to do is hit a switch to turn it on. The reason we are running the generator is we've been hooked up to a power pedestal for the last 3-4 months. Your generator should be run and flexed once a month. And by flexed, I mean under a load. So what we're going to do is turn the generator on, let it run for about a minute or two, and then I'm going to cut on both the ACs and run it under load for about an hour or two and give it a good work. Let the oils get in there and do what it's supposed to do. Something else to make sure you add to your monthly checklist if you have a generator.
Whew, that was a lot of maintenance.
It was, and I was tired just watching her do it.
It wasn't that difficult. So all of it is easy to do. Anybody can do it. And I'm really glad some of the stuff I actually got to learn how to do.
Yeah, she's a great student.
So we did do this maintenance over about a month or so. We did a little bit at a time. We obviously, you can tell by our clothing and by Phil's arm, we did not do it all at one time.
No, and we couldn't. And normally when I do it all, it's over a few weeks that I knock it all out. But I do make sure that I get those items done every month.
If you're looking for any of the products we mentioned in this video, all the links will be down below, as well as the link to our blog post with that spreadsheet that you can download and adjust for yourself.
Yeah, and again, the spreadsheet's pretty cool. I mean, it's user-friendly. You can tweak it however you want. It's a great place to start if you don't have any kind of maintenance plan or schedule.
Thanks everybody for watching. I know this was a really long video, but there was a lot of info in here that can help almost everyone. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up. I did that with my right arm. And hit the notification bell over here on the side of me, this side.
And I've also included the links to our village. Please come over there and join our growing community. We are going to start spending a lot of time over there, and we hope you join us. So
yeah, it's RV all the time. That's the info that you get over there.
That's right.
That's the beauty of our village.
Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully, eventually, once he's all healed up, we will see you on the road. I gotta do my job.
Move your hair.
My hair's pretty today.
Yeah, it is.
All of those surface... I'm gonna beat you. It's on the hot water heater.
Water heater.
And it... we're gonna be out here forever, aren't we?
Yeah.